Coast. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody else in between this great big beautiful country of ours. How the hell you doing? What's up? What do you know? What do you say? What's happening? Something went with my display. It's driving me crazy. I'm not getting the normal picture that I should be getting. And something screwed it up. So, I have no clue. Oh, jeez. Good morning. Oh, it's Wednesday. What day is it? Hump day. It's hump day. Humpty hump 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 day. Right? I think it's Wednesday. I don't know. Let's check the phone. It's Wednesday. Yep, it's Wednesday, April 7th. What happened on April 7th on this day? Who knows? Who cares? Who gives a shit? Right? So, latest in the Gets thing. Did you know when Trump was in office, president, the former guy, that Gets requested a blanket pardon? I didn't know you could get a blanket pardon. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go murder somebody, but I need a blanket pardon. Can you help me out? But considering all the troubles he's having lately, you wonder why. I mean, you have to be an idiot not to know why. Wonder why he would want a blanket pardon. Oh, shit. Here's what I did, folks. I forgot to log in to Twitter. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Try that one. Oh, shit. Last chance, Chuck. Ta-da! I freaking made it, finally. Now what's going on with this thing? Oh, don't you just love it? So something screwed up, and it's a mystery. But that's okay, we'll get it. I have no clue. Okay, here we go. Here's another thing with the news. Eric Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani's kid, is thinking about running for governor of New York. Good luck with that. Well, here's the problem. If he runs, and somehow it gets fixed, and he ends up winning, guess who gets pardoned? Oh, Donald Trump, he'll get pardoned. This is 2022 election. So you got to pray to God that either Cuomo gets reelected with all his baggage, or some other Democrat comes along and decides to run against Cuomo and wins against this freaking Eric Giuliani. Who knows? Ivanka Trump might even jump in there. Hey, I want to be the governor. You're going to pardon my dad. Yeah? Anything's possible. Anything's possible. So, two big headlines right there. What are they going to do? I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? I'm running a little behind, folks. So, if you see me doing a bunch of shit work here while I'm talking, that's what it is. I'm like a regular guy, you know, just a regular guy. My display's screwed up. I look awful funny on here. Probably look good to you, though. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm getting disheartened with Twitter. You know? So, I said good morning 2 hours ago. I said good morning, everybody. And not one person so far said good morning back. Well, the thing is, I get upset and I use foul language. I think I get muted a lot. You know? Oh, well, hey. You gotta be blunt about things. I mean, you can't just quit dancing around it. Get it right out. If it's screwed up, say so. I mean, a lot of people on there too. I mean, if so I don't care. Okay. Oh, here you go. Lesty Stoop. So this only applies to your vest friends. I don't know if he wanted to say vest or best. Or how close is the V to... Yep. Okay, the V and the B are right next to each other on the keypad. So this only applies to your best friends that you need to make smile, but when they say they aren't in a good place or are in a bad place, I always ask what the hell they're doing in Jersey. People always picking on New Jersey, you know what I mean? Hey, Chris Christie, I mean, he was, what is he, a governor there or something like that? Oh, New Jersey. Oh, didn't even start that. Look at this shit. I'm just totally freaking whacked, folks. Oh, God, I missed the whole recording. Okay, so I'm not going to do it over again. Anyway, 7 minutes in, I forgot to start the recording of it for the audio. Well, that's okay. You didn't miss anything, audio. Radio people are fine. You're fine. Audio people just like, where's he at? It's 7 minutes. Where has he been? 7.5 minutes. There he is. Oh, son of a bitch. Stephen King says, the prize in today's The Price is Right showcase round, a trip to Rhode Island. I make no judgments. But what happened to Aruba? Did things get cheap with The Price is Right? I don't know. A trip to Rhode Island. They got snow up there. Yeah, I seen it. They had snow up there the other day. Just the other day. They got snow. Oh, jeez. Who the hell is this? I forgot to put... See? I'm way behind today. Boy, that's one thing after another. A spam phone call. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez. Can I quit now? Is it okay to quit now? I hope you're not having the same kind of day I am. My throat's funky. My breathing's bad. My oxygen needs adjustments. My screen's screwed up. Nobody says hello to me or good morning on Twitter. Make me want to stick my lip out. Oh, God. ZeroHedge.com 3 hours ago. Now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here now, folks. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're going to, hey, everybody, different strokes, different folks. Am I all on the right place? Okay, 255 transgender inmates request transfer to women's prisons after California passes new law. Okay. For those who are wondering how the Democrats' Equality Act, requiring people to be treated according to their gender identity, will operate if passed, we're getting some foreshadowing from California. On January 1st, the law went into effect holding that state prisoners must be housed in a facility consistent with their gender identity, regardless of their anatomy. To date, 261 prisoners, 255 of them, biological men, have asked to be relocated. You know why. I identify as a woman, but my dick still works. Oh, sorry. The reasoning behind the law wasn't just the usual woke madness of treating transgenderism as if it's not a sad case of body dysmorphia. Wow. Hey, folks, there's a word today. Dysmorphia. but is instead a magical change in sex. Instead, there was a humane goal. Men who identify as women, when placed in all-male prisons, are extremely vulnerable to prison rape. One man in Australia claimed that he was raped over 2,000 times, which, if true, is appalling. However, when you place so-called transgender men in women's prisons, there's also a rape problem, with the men, many of whom claim to be lesbians, raping those women unlucky enough to find themselves in the same cell, ward, or shower as one of these so-called transgender men. So, how do you fix that? You make transgender prisons, okay? Men that say they're transgender women, you put them all in a transgender women prison that are men, and the other one for the other, and another prison. So the straight men and the straight women, they got their own prisons. Transgender men that say they're women, they got their prison. Transgender women that say they're men got their own prison. Are you confused now? I sure am. So, I wonder where Gates is going to say he is. Wait, what's going on too? Why haven't they arrested Trump yet? McConnell, he's telling these corporations, we did this yesterday, the other day, about staying out of politics. But he says, we accept contributions. You can be in politics that way. You can contribute. Okay. You're like, that's going to fly. You mind your own business, but we'll take your money. Oh, my God. The party has failed, folks. I hate to say it, if you're a Republican, your party has failed. Now, another thing I saw this morning, Pence has come out of the woodwork, and he's starting another party, a Republican Party, that's going to be the traditional Republican Party with a mix of Trumpism in there. You know why he's mixing the Trumpism in there is to get Trump radical followers or Trump followers. Well, anyway, I told a lady on Facebook yesterday, she keeps putting these things out, smashing Biden and everybody else, and Democrats, and I'm like, why do you keep spewing this hate? I mean, the guy hasn't even been in office. Why are you spewing this hate? You know, so I checked it this morning. She says, what hate? Hate is so normal with them that they don't know what hate is. Oh. Give me oxygen. Clean out my sinus. Holy crap. BGR 12 hours ago. I wonder what this means. Apple employees knew that if Steve Jobs turned off his iPhone, it meant one thing. What is that? I don't know. This is from BGR, April 6th, yesterday, 11:28 p.m. What is he? Oh, boy. Writing in late at night. Most of us, when we think of late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, probably fixate on the stereotype of him as a detail-obsessed quasi-workaholic whose near mania, when it came to the seemingly tiniest details, brought about world-changing products like the iPhone and helped Apple become the most valuable company in the world. But Jobs' former executive assistant, Naz Behetsky, paints a different picture of her old boss in her new book, Pause, Breathe, Choose, Become the CEO of Your Well-Being. Okay, I don't think I'll be reading that book. I ran out of breath just reading the title. Focused largely on her wellness coaching practice, she also sprinkles the book with nuggets about the mercurial Apple chief executive who prodded Apple to generate a string of hit products like the Mac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad, who was known for melting down when employees didn't live up to his standards, and who seems to also have put a premium on quiet time where he could take a mental break uninterrupted by the demands of being a CEO, such that on rare occasions when he turned off his iPhone, Apple employees seemed to have had a good idea of where that meant Jobs was hiding away. In the office of Jony Ive, Apple's former head of design, where he'd be dreaming about the future and playing with mock-ups and prototypes that Jobs often referred to as his toys. I quickly discovered what playtime looked like for Steve Jobs, and it was one of the keys to his success as a great innovator. Beheshti writes, whenever someone was looking for Steve or whenever he could not be reached on the phone, there was only one place he could almost unerringly be found. In the office of Johnny, I don't know if it's Jony or Johnny Ive, Apple's former chief of design officer. Okay. So if you want to read the rest of that, he was up there playing with toys. His toys. Stuff that, development stuff, I guess. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Fox News. This was 15 hours ago. Senator Paul, that's Rand Paul to you. Health officials can't stand good news about pandemic because they are big government people. This is by the whole Fox News staff, folks. A Kentucky Republican tells Your World good news means you can go live your life. We should not have government mandates based on what we don't know. We should make mandates based on what we do know. Senator Rand Paul, Republican of Kentucky, told Your World Tuesday. Paul, here's one thing about Dr. Fauci. When they can prove something is a real problem, let's consider a mandate. The last time Dr. Fauci, had the pushback with me, he said, what about the variants? You may have had an infection or may have had the vaccine, but you may be susceptible to the variants. All of the studies so far show the vaccine works well against most of the variants, and natural disease works very well against the variants. Whew. In fact, a study that came out in January from one of Fauci's own institutes, one of his scientists said that natural immunity, those that got it the natural way have immunity to all the variants. Wow. What we need to do is not push fear-mongering. Is it perfect? No. The burden should be on government to prove there's widespread people that have had it or not getting it by the tens of thousands, or that people being vaccinated are still passing it along. I am totally freaking confused. Okay? Even the CDC admitted before somebody made them roll it back, but the head of the CDC was on TV saying if you have been vaccinated, we discovered that you're not carrying it, you're not transmitting. This is good news. These people can't stand good news because that means you get out from under their thumb and you can go live your life. They don't want you to be free to other mandates. They like the idea of submission because most of these people at heart, they are big government people. Oh boy. Here's a question. A lot of people ask this too. Refinery29.com. April 6th, 8:25 a.m. Here's what happens if you end up getting two different vaccines. And did I start this news program to get away from COVID, and Trump? I'll get this. All right, we'll find something else, folks. All right, let's finish this first. Since the COVID-19 vaccine has become more available to people across Canada, folks, I didn't know it was Canadian. Okay, let's find out what these people up north are doing. Roughly 12% of the population has received at least one dose, and although roughly 92% of adults living in senior homes have received one dose, those of us under 60 who aren't healthcare workers or adults living in indigenous communities are part of the final phase 3, which will begin with those between 55 and 59 and move down. Currently, estimates say that any Canadian who'd like to be vaccinated should be able to get one by the end of June. But with appointments missed and many hunting for leftovers, one question is starting to cross our minds. What happens if you somehow get 2 different vaccine doses? Okay. And here's, hey, wait a minute now. Does Canada have their own CDC? Because listen to this. According to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, while more research is needed on the subject, there should be no side effects to mixing vaccines. The Cleveland Clinic turned to the CDC's finding and their own research on mixing different types of COVID-19 vaccine shots in February. According to the CDC, medical professionals administering vaccinations should do their best to ensure patients receive 2 of the same shots if they're administering the Pfizer, BioNTech, or Moderna vaccine. Okay, well, Canada, they're using all of our stuff. They're using the CDC, the Cleveland Clinic, and I don't mind. But it's just like, don't Canada have their own shit? It ain't like they're a poverty country, you know what I mean? Canada is like the resort for mooses. You know? It's a playground for people that like the cold. The tundra. Oh boy. Okay, The Hill, 2 days ago. Supreme Court declines to hear Alex Jones' appeal in the Sandy Hook case. The Supreme Court on Monday declined to hear Alex Jones' appeal in a Sandy Hook defamation case from Connecticut. The InfoWars host and conspiracy theorist was appealing a Connecticut court sanction in a defamation lawsuit filed by the families of victims of the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. Jones was penalized by a trial judge 2 years ago for angry outbursts towards the plaintiff's attorney during his online show and for violating orders to turn over the documents to lawyers for the families. The Associated Press reported Judge Barbara Bellis in Connecticut barred Jones from filing a motion to dismiss the pending case, in which she had said would order him to pay some of the family's legal fees. The Connecticut Supreme Court upheld her ruling last year. Jones has argued he should not be able to sanction for exercising what he calls his freedom of speech. You know what? Freedom of speech can go so far. You know? Okay, the families, as well as an FBI agent who responded to the scene, sued Jones and his show for making claims that the 2012 mass shooting, which left 26 people dead, was a hoax. This is freaking goofy-ass people out there. Chuck's Rant Radio is coming up pretty soon, too, and I'm gonna rant about real shit. Just pretty much like I do here. I guess. So, you know, this is all bullshit. Oh, boy. Forbes hours ago. I told you, Mangled. Forbes 4 hours ago. The U.S. Navy is about to buy a whole lot of frigates. It matters who builds them. Okay, the American fleet is on track to acquire a bunch of new missile frigates. Not faggots, frigates. Over the long term, who builds the ships is nearly as important as the ships themselves. The $20 billion program, which should equip the U.S. Navy with at least 20 new Constellation STZ-class frigates in the next 15 years, not only could help the fleet grow, it might also help shore up the country's sagging Naval Industrial Base. And that's a really big deal with strong support from the U.S. Congress. The Navy is trying hard to grow from today's roughly 300 frontline warships to at least 350 by 2030 or so. But a lack of shipboard capacity holding back efforts to maintain and repair existing ships while also building new ones. Big orders for new frigates, not faggots, could drive investment in yards that, in addition to building the frigates themselves, could also work on other ship types. Okay, so there you go. It all depends on how big these Navy frigates are. There was a place up here in the southwestern Pennsylvania. It called the Ways in Drevaux, up and Dravosburg. They call it the Marine Ways. The Marine Ways, that's what they call it. Here's some more from defense news from Forbes. This is from April 5th. Keep rising. The U.S. Navy might buy small aircraft carriers, but who's going to build them? We have no freaking clue, folks. The U.S. Navy's existing. See, they got trouble with the frigates. They want these light carriers, and they can't find somebody to build them. I don't know what the hell. The U.S. Navy's existing amphibious assault ships, doubling as light carriers, are all the fleet needs to back up its full-size supercarriers, the service's top air warfare officer said last week. Left unsaid was one major reason why the Navy might just shrug and make do with the vessels it already has or plans to build in the near future. Shipyard capacity. Rear Admiral Gregory Harris, head of the Navy's Air Warfare Division in the Pentagon, addressed the light carrier situation during a virtual event on Tuesday. I believe the L-class ships operating with the F-35B fit that bill, Harris said, according to Defense One. L-class is a Navy term for big deck and not big dick, big deck. Amphibious assault ships would include 7 Wasp-class vessels and 2 newer ships of the America-class, 9 in total. Well, I'm glad they did the math because they lost me a paragraph ago. It would have been 10 if not for the loss of U.S. Bonhomme Richard in a shipboard fire last summer. Okay. So if you want to read the rest of the article, it's on Forbes.com. The U.S. Navy might buy small aircraft carriers, but who's going to build them? I don't know. Oh, no, here's an actor. Ooh, the Daily... Okay, this is going to be the last one maybe, I guess. I don't know. An actor. Actor arrested. Okay, this is the dailybeast.com, April 6th, 10:27 p.m. These people work late. Why don't they say who wrote it? Boy. Actor arrested in alleged $690 million Ponzi scheme. Actor Zach Horowitz, who went by the name Zach Avery in such films as The Devil Below and Curvature, was arrested Tuesday in Los Angeles for allegedly orchestrating a Ponzi scheme to the tune of $690 million. In addition, the Securities and Exchange Commission froze Horowitz's assets. They froze his ass and those of his company, one in Capital. Horowitz, 34, allegedly brought in $227 million from investors on promises that he would buy film rights and resell them to Netflix and HBO, when in fact he had no relationship with or contacts within either company. According to the SEC, Horowitz lied to his investors and fabricated a track record of successfully buying and selling film rights, all while promising investors returns on their investments of 35% or more, an astronomical rate. You know, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. You dumbasses. These people deserve to get their ass whipped. Okay, to satisfy prior investments, he allegedly paid them with funds from new investors, even as he used the money to buy a $6.5 million home and hire a celebrity interior designer He is charged with wire fraud and has been released on a $1 million bond. And that's it for today. Ta-da! I hope you had a good time. I did. I had really fouled up. I got to fix my screen after we get done here. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye to the radio people, and then I'll say goodbye to you, okay? What? We didn't do much Twitter news, did we? Or did we do any? I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I hope you had a good day. See you tomorrow. Be careful. Watch out for that Rona. And I'll say goodbye to the radio people and play their music, and then I'll play your music, okay? Let's play your music. Okay, I think I will. Let's just do that shit. Do that shit. Okay, be careful. Don't catch that Rona. You guys have a good day, and hopefully this will be all over real soon. Anything you say.